Let me tell you what's about to happen in the next 10 minutes. You're going to understand exactly what wholesale real estate is, why it doesn't require a license or a mortgage, how to find distressed properties before anyone else does, how to run the numbers so you never leave money on the table, how to lock up a deal with a contract, and how to get paid at closing without ever owning the property. By the end of this, you'll know more than most people who've been calling themselves investors for 2 years. Most people think you need money to make money in real estate. Wholesaling is the exception to that rule. It's the entry point that doesn't require a down payment, a bank loan, or even a real estate license in most states. What it requires is hustle, a little knowledge, and the ability to find people who have a problem you can solve. Here's the one-sentence explanation. You find a distressed property, get it under contract at a below-market price, then sell that contract to a cash buyer for a fee. You never own the house. You never fix it. You just connect two people and collect the difference. That fee, called an assignment fee, typically runs between $5,000 and $25,000 per deal. On a good deal in a hot market, I've seen wholesale fees crack $40,000. This is not fantasy math. This is what happens when you find the right seller before anyone else does. What wholesaling actually is. Let's get precise about the mechanics because a lot of people get this wrong. You find a motivated seller, someone who needs to sell fast, usually because of foreclosure, divorce, inherited property, or the house needs more work than they can afford. You agree on a purchase price. You sign a purchase and sale agreement that gives you equitable interest in the property. That contract is the asset. You're not buying the house, you're buying the right to buy the house. Then you find a cash buyer, usually a fix-and-flip investor or a buy-and-hold landlord who wants the deal. You assign that contract to them for your fee. They close with the seller. You get paid at the closing table. Example. A seller in Memphis, Tennessee has a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. The after-repair value, what it's worth fixed up, is $180,000. The house needs $45,000 in work. A fix-and-flip investor needs to buy it at roughly 70% of ARV minus repairs to make their numbers work. That's $180,000 times 0.70 minus $45,000. Which gives you a maximum allowable offer of $81,000. You lock the house up at $72,000. You bring a cash buyer in at $82,000. Your assignment fee is $10,000. You never touched a hammer. You never signed a mortgage. You facilitated a transaction. The ARV formula and why it protects you. Every wholesale deal lives or dies by one calculation. The 70% rule. ARV times 0.70 minus estimated repair costs equals your maximum offer price. This is the ceiling. You offer below it. The gap between what you lock it up at and what your cash buyer will pay, that's your spread. Your spread is your paycheck. Where do you get ARV? Comparable sales, comps, pulled from the MLS, Zillow, PropStream, or Redfin. You want closed sales within the last 90 days, within a half mile, same bed and bath count, similar square footage. 3 to 5 comps minimum. Don't guess. Pull the data. For repair estimates when you're starting out, use a rough cost per square foot number. Light cosmetic rehab runs $15 to $25 per square foot. Medium rehab, new kitchen, baths, flooring, runs $35 to $55 per square foot. Full gut renovation can hit $80 to $100 or more. Walk the property. Get a contractor to do a walkthrough if you can. Never inflate ARV and never underestimate repairs. You do that, you lose cash buyers. You lose cash buyers, you have no business. Finding motivated sellers. This is where the real work is. Deals don't come to you, you go to them. Driving for dollars is still one of the most effective methods in 2026. You literally drive through neighborhoods looking for distressed properties, overgrown yards, boarded windows, tarps on the roof, peeling paint, newspapers piled up. You write down the address, skip trace the owner using a tool like PropStream, Batch Leads, or Deal Machine, and you make contact. Direct mail still converts. A yellow letter or handwritten style postcard to pre-foreclosure lists, probate lists, or tax delinquent lists pulls responses from people who are emotionally ready to sell. It takes volume. Expect a 1% to 3% response rate. Send 500 letters, get 5 to 15 calls. Work those leads hard. Bandit signs. Those "We buy houses" signs on telephone poles still work in secondary markets. Cold calling lists pulled from county records costs almost nothing if you do it yourself. And platforms like PropStream let you build targeted lists by filtering for equity, owner type, pre-foreclosure status, and absentee owners, all in one dashboard for around $99 a month. Probate is one of the most underworked channels for beginners. When someone dies and leaves property, the estate often needs to liquidate fast. Court records are public. Your county courthouse website posts probate filings. Start there. Locking up the deal, the contract. You find a motivated seller. You run your numbers. The deal makes sense. Now you need to get it under contract. You use a standard purchase and sale agreement. You can find state-specific templates on Bigger Pockets or through a real estate attorney for under $200. Make sure it includes an assignment clause that explicitly allows you to assign the contract to a third party. Some states have specific language requirements, so verify with a local real estate attorney before you use any template. Your earnest money deposit on a wholesale deal is typically $500 to $2,000. This is the skin in the game that shows the seller you're serious. You want an inspection period, also called a due diligence period, of 10 to 21 days. This gives you time to find your buyer and verify the numbers before you're locked in. Once you assign the contract, your buyer pays the original purchase price to the seller and your assignment fee to you. The fee is disclosed in the assignment agreement and typically collected at closing through the title company. Use a title company familiar with wholesale deals. Not every title company handles assignments. Ask your local real estate investor network or the Bigger Pockets forums for referrals. Building your cash buyer list. You can't assign a contract to nobody. Your cash buyer list is the engine of your wholesale business. Build it before you ever find your first deal. Go to your local Real Estate Investors Association. Find them at National REIA or just search Real Estate Investor Club plus your city. Every fix and flip investor in that room is a potential buyer. Get their name, their buy box, what types of properties they want, in what areas, at what price ranges, and their contact information. Post in local Facebook groups for real estate investors. Search for "We buy houses" in your city and call those numbers. Those are active cash buyers. Pull the last 90 days of cash transactions from your county recorder's office. Those buyers are real, active, and looking for more deals. Your goal is 20 to 30 verified cash buyers before you need them. When you have a deal, you send it to the list. First one to commit with a non-refundable deposit gets it. What it takes to close your first deal. Most beginners close their first wholesale deal within 60 to 120 days of starting, if they're consistent. Consistent means making 10 to 20 seller contacts per day, every day. That's calls, doors knocked, letters mailed, or leads followed up. Volume is not optional. Your startup costs are real but low. PropStream or Batch Leads for lead generation runs $99 to $199 per month. Direct mail through a service like REI Skip or Click to Mail averages 50 cents to $1 per piece. A basic LLC for liability protection costs $50 to $500, depending on your state. A consultation with a real estate attorney to review your contracts is worth every dollar. Budget $150 to $300 for that. Total startup investment? You can run a legitimate wholesale operation for under $1,000 in your first month. That's not a typo. The mistakes that kill beginners are overestimating ARV, underestimating repairs, and not having a buyer before they get a house under contract. Lock down your buyer list first. Run conservative numbers always. And never blow up a seller relationship. Real estate markets are smaller than they look. Your reputation is your business. Wholesaling doesn't require a license, but it requires integrity. You are solving a real problem for a real person who needs to sell. Treat every seller with respect. Be transparent about what you're doing and deliver on your commitments. That's how you build a pipeline that feeds itself through referrals. This is the playbook. ARV formula. Motivated seller channels. Airtight contract with an assignment clause. Cash buyer list built before you need it. Conservative numbers every single time. The mechanics are simple. The execution takes work, but the first $10,000 assignment check you collect without ever taking out a mortgage or swinging a hammer, that changes how you see what's possible. The code doesn't expire, but your window might.